Hey guys, hope y'all are doing great today. Welcome to part 3 of this week's Food Forest Tours. Hope y'all been doing well. Got the pomegranate tree, the bigger pomegranate right here. It's got some good growth starting to come out. Good shoot. It's about 8 inches coming out from the bottom down there, and a few other ones coming out near there, so that's really good to see. Plum tree right here is looking really healthy. Still sending off some new growth from right at the top shoot, and some of the side shoots also down there. The pool right here, the water quality is starting to get a lot clearer. As you can remember, it was like a murkier clay type color, and it's a few inches deep right here on the edges, maybe like an inch right there, maybe like 2 or 3 inches right in there, and you can kind of see the bottom right there, and kind of gets a little deeper in the middle there. You can't see the bottom yet there, but the water quality is looking really good. Starting to see a lot of different types of life starting to come in. Some water beetles. Seems it's like it starts with mosquito larvae, and then they become food for like the water beetles and their larvae, and so that's starting to fill in, and as the water quality gets better, it seems to attract more and more different types of life, so that's really cool to see. I was waiting for that frog, sorry. He is talking right in that pool right over there. That one you can see, that's what the kind of watercolor looks like before they're dug, and or right after they're dug, I'm sorry. That one was dug about a week ago. So yep, and they kind of, this one's clear. This one's probably been dug about maybe 2 or 3 weeks. So they really start to clear up especially once the vegetation, all kinds of sounds, and really starting to clear up and look really good. This apple tree right here is doing really good. It's got some really good healthy growth coming out the tops. We got the blueberry right here beside it, hiding down in there. Helps keep the deer off of it. It's got the cage around it too. I could probably remove that cage there now. It's doing so well. There's the blueberry over there that has 0 cage protection and is doing really good. Just some limbs and just the natural crops growing up around it, wild crops. Pear tree right here is looking really healthy. The healthiest by far, so I think it's really liking this more well-draining soil, even though it's got a pool on this side, the pool right here. Just having this soil in the middle that is all more well-draining is just really helping it out, and it'll also be filled up with growing things soon here, so hopefully have a lot of fungi growing and just make some really healthy soil. Well, there's a little, I don't know if you can see it in the background, there's a damselfly right on the tip of that little thing, but I've started to see a lot of them in the food forest. That looks like a little small, actually that's a dragonfly, I think. Yeah, it's a small dragonfly, because the wings of the dragonfly will lay flat, whereas the damselfly, they fold theirs up when they're resting, so that's interesting. Got another little dragonfly. Have seen more damselflies than dragonflies so far, but I'm sure that the dragonflies will pick up once they find these pools and have some good habitat to breed in. Apple tree right down here on the end that didn't grow last year that much is really starting to look healthy, also liking this well-draining soil. It's got about 8 inches of growth on that main shoot right there. That'll be the main trunk of the tree probably. It's starting to put off some good growth and looks like some branch buds too, so that's good to see. The elderberry right here is looking really good. Covered it kind of with soil when I created this mound right here at the bottom, and it's just putting out new shoots. Or some new shoots were down at the bottom, kind of buried those, so it seems to be doing really good. It has some of those little bumps on the leaves you can see that were kind of in that midsection, but all the new growth looks really healthy, so looks good, really good to see. This is the pear tree that was hit by fire blight, so it is yep, still don't see any pears on it, so no luck for this year, but maybe maybe next year it'll come back and have some pairs. I've seen a lot more of these native ants coming into the food forest as I've created a more diverse area, and they've got something right there. I don't know if it's like it might be like a dead spider or something, but you can see it kind of just creates nice diversity and helping the native ants kind of come back from beforehand. You know, it was generally all fire ants for the most part, but they seem to be liking just the diversity in the food forest is helping bring back some of the native critters, so that's really good to see. Plum tree over here is looking okay. No new growth, just kind of staying the same. Got some things starting to come up in this bed. I should have waited and planted these a little later once some other wild stuff came up, because I think they got targeted by some slugs and some other stuff, but they seem to be doing pretty good. There's a good squash coming up right there. Some cucumbers down there. Squash and a cucumber, it looks like, right there. Some of the red maple looks like it's what those seedlings are, most likely. Those seeds blow from everywhere. Some more cucumbers over there. That might be like a bean right there on the left, or kind of in the center, and then a pea right there. So that might be a bean too coming up right there. So it's good to see. This blueberry right here is looking really healthy and big. Apple tree right there in the middle is starting to grow really good. Starting to put on some good new growth for this year. On this side, the blueberries coming up well right there. Looking good. Got a dragonfly right here that just landed. That blue one right there on that. I don't know if it'll focus, but he's right kind of there on that stalk in the foreground. There he is. It's moving back and forth right there. Showing off. So that's kind of cool to see. Really cool, pretty blue color. Smaller one right now. It's interesting. Love seeing all them in the food forest, because they can really hopefully put a hurting towards some of the insects that may damage the crops more. Seems to be that looks like a frog has laid some eggs over here in this pool. Really excited to see that. Hopefully I'll have some tadpoles hatching out really soon. You can see there's some mosquito larvae in there. This pool was freshly dug. They, as I was mentioning before, they seem to fill it in first. But as you can see, the predators are already moving in, and so hopefully they'll be along with the beetle insects, and I'm assuming that depending on the tadpole size, they could be the predators too of the mosquito larvae, and so it gives them something to eat, and they keep the mosquitoes away. So that's really, really nice. Apple tree on Apple Mountain is doing really good. See, it's got that new shoot coming out. It's about 6 inches long and got a new healthy side shoot right there coming out. So looking really, really good. Liking its well draining soil too, and hopefully this soil will just get really, really healthy. And you can probably hear the frog talking. He's like, "Hey, why are you looking at my baby tadpoles for?" Thanks for tuning in to part 3. I think, yeah, part 3 of this week's Food Forest Tours. And I'll see you guys soon in part 4, and maybe we'll have some tadpoles next week. That'd be really cool. Bye, guys.